Who did you expect? Who did you expect? Who did you expect? Who did you expect? Who did you expect?
Welcome to the east side. We don't wait for doors of opportunity, we just wait on when we gotta kick them in. Decatur, Georgia, or a den of thieves. Hidden leaves just to feed the village. Hidden leaves make them feel like ninjas. Niggas always keep the metal tucked till you run up, get your face cut. Got your brukins on the back end. Know too many niggas trapped. They be stuck in genjutsu. They see the world from a different view. Shadow clones cause they silhouettes. Hard to point out when they robbing you. You never know what be inside of you. You never know who you be talking to. Till it's 2 a.m. on the east side. Black as shadows in the nighttime. They don't wait on nothing but the right time. He ain't come around the corner. Shots fired, that's a nigga down. Sad but this is normal around this town. I've been crying for my niggas found. I've been praying for my niggas down. Always looking for some progress. Try a nigga, he gon' regress. Locked and loaded that nigga ready. Turn your brains into red spaghetti. I be looking for God here. Hopefully see that I'm trying here. Say my niggas cause they really lost. Talk to my niggas before you write them off.
They say, Vic, don't you move on that side, boy. Both the crime rate and junkies stay high, boy. Scary niggas, they ain't see my vision and they see it, they want in the convoy. Stop by the corner store, know that it's kissing. Then let them watch windows pump gas for a bag of chip shot with the water. But no, they got size, I don't need no patchouli. I just want water. Star bitch with my brothers like Pops and Earl. We gon' turn Keller Road right into a Melrose. I might turn Wesley Chop to a motherfucking church. They got them my people and teach them their worth. I don't need no appraiser, I'm knowing the worth of my property. They just don't talk the cap, always a lot in the world. And I'm winning it all that construction on this side. I'm taking my time, now it's 2 a.m. on the east side. Up as fuck, no I'm writing rhymes. Late night, not an early morning like an alchemist. I'm turning under something. Shots fired, that's your nigga down. Sad, but it's normal around this town. Cause I'm calling, say you beat the charge. He can't wait to come back around. Other cousin calling, y'all must stop. Say he heard prices went back up. I confirm that he gassed up. Told him chill, though, cause we next up. People be looking for God here. My job is to teach them looking themselves. Say my niggas cause they really lost. Spitting for the ones they breaking off.
Who did you expect?
Biggest the what? Biggest the what? Biggest the what? Biggest the Super Bowl.
Niggas so thirsty, don't put me in beef. Dissecting my words and start looking too deep. I look at the tweets and start sucking my teeth. I'm letting it rock cause I love the mystique. I still wanna give me a song where I be. Can't trust everything that you saw on IG. Just know if I diss you, I make sure you know that I hit you like I'm on your caller ID. I'm naming the album to fall off. It's pretty ironic cause it ain't no fall off for me. Still in this bitch getting bigger. They waiting on the kid to come drop like a father to be. Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started the league. But right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. Yeah, Muhammad Ali, the one that they call when they shit ain't connected no more. Feel like I got a job in IT. Rhyming with me is the biggest mistake. The Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake. It's like we recruited your homies to be demon deacons. We got them attending your wake. Hey, how the gang got away from the bars, man, this shit like a prison escape. Everybody steppers with fucking and everybody breakfast, and I'm about to clear up my plate. When I show up, it's motion picture blockbuster. The goat with the golden pen, the top toucher, the spot rusher. Spray this whole shit up, the duster. Not Russia, but apply pressure to your cranium. Codes automatic when aiming them. With the boy in the status of stadium.
Big as the Super Bowl, but the difference is it's just two guys playing shit that they did in the studio. Niggas usually send they verses back to me and they be terrible just like a 2-year-old. I love a dinner with some fine women when they start debating about who the GOAT. I'm like, go ahead, say it then. Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who you bitches really rooting for? Like a kid that had been from January to November, nigga, it's just you and Cole. Big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl.
did you expect?
Why that girl on her phone? She never paid attention to the room or the homie. She just missed another opportunity, And I know that she lonely with no company, She's so busy reading text, she ain't even read the room, yeah. Always sending texts like I just want myself a little boo, yeah. I think I just went stupid, hit by Cupid. The arrow hit my heart, I hope she noticed. Gotta read the room, yeah. Learn to read the room, I really wish that you can read the room. I really wish that you can look inside of me, and I can tell you how I feel, little baby. Just learn to read the room, Read the room. Just read the room, Just read the room. Learn to feel that presence and that feeling in that mood. Just learn to go ahead and feel that moment too, Learn to read the room. Trying to talk to you was honestly so fucking strange. Trying to find a way that drove my brain to be deranged. I would've never thought I'd have this kind of issue. I couldn't connect with you inside of the same room. I know you feel me, at least I think you do. It's hard to tell, I cannot read the room. You seem to be unfazed, that's what you supposed to do. You seem so confused, baby, why won't you learn to read the room? I really wish that you can read the room. I really wish that you can look inside of me, and I can tell you how I feel, little baby. Just learn to read the room, Read the room. Just read the room, Just read the room. Learn to feel that presence and that feeling in that mood. Just learn to go ahead and feel that moment too, Learn to read the room.
I'll show you how to read the room, baby. Say you faded off that drink, I hit the road and zoom, baby. Project nigga section 8, I never had a spoon, baby. She says it's rated, this movie coming soon, baby. No, I ain't worried about your boyfriend, he ain't like that. See me, it's on sight about that pussy, he gon' fight back. He gon' risk his life, I beat him up like go down my path. But your bitch want me, so it ain't my fault that you tried that. Oh yeah.
Learn to read the room, I really wish that you can read the room. I really wish that you can look inside of me, and I can tell you how I feel, little baby. Just learn to read the room, Read the room. Just read the room, Just read the room. Learn to feel that presence and that feeling in that mood. Just learn to go ahead and feel that moment too, Learn to read the room.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Saturday. Welcome to Saturday. It is Saturday. What time is it? It's about 1 p.m. on the West Coast, known as the Fresh Coast, as some people consider it the best coast. It's all just opinionated, but welcome to the Aaron O Show. Guys, I hope you guys been having a sensational, why is that future sensational? Sensational week as we lead up to the festivities and holidays for the people. I'm not a holiday celebrator, so don't mind me. I'm not going to stop nobody, but, enjoy yourselves. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's in good spirits, grinding, minding their business and doing what they got to do, okay? And staying out of trouble in these YouTube streets, okay? Because that's what I've been trying to master, all right? Oh, how's everybody there? Everybody all right? Oh, what's up? Hey, Kazi. Kazi says, long time no, never up early on Sunday morning to catch the star, but here today. Thank you, Kazi. What do you mean you're not up early on Sunday morning? Which coast are you on? She on a whole nother continent. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to fix that one day. Ladies and gentlemen, we have I consider this more of a my thoughts conversation today, honestly. I have not been keeping up with too much stuff that's been going on with the Trinity and Dennis Rodman situation, but I did see some of what was said, and I did want to touch up on that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I don't want to get in no trouble, so I'm not going to be mentioning anything else because I don't know what else I can mention to get in trouble. But anytime I let y'all type in the chat, trouble always comes, all right? Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do today. I am a little cold. I think I'm gonna switch places with the East Coast and their weather because it is cold out here. That don't make no sense. That in this place of America there is cold weather. It shouldn't be. It should be against the law actually to have cold weather out here. See if I can write that into law. All right. I have been busy. So towards the end of the year, I'm gonna try to catch up. Get back in. I'm gonna try to get on top of all the things I've been slacking on in real life, even though YouTube is technically real life, but it's virtual. But I'm gonna try to catch up on a couple of things as we end the end of the year. I want to see all of y'all's New Year's resolutions. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can imagine what you guys gonna have for us then. Okay, but without further ado, let us get into the show. Okay, now. Before we get into this whole family business, there's something I have to discuss. I don't like frauds. I don't like haters. I just don't like them. And I've been noticing it's been going on around here. It's been going on around here, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm going to speak up and say something. They say when you see something wrong, speak up. Don't be quiet, okay? So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't know what y'all been watching lately, but I've been seeing something and I don't think it's a good look. Okay. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. We got people basically hating from within. Okay. As you look towards the whole movement, the whole sisterhood and all that good stuff. There's a lot of hating going on, y'all. And I don't appreciate it. But now we got somebody that's trying to fraud it on up today. Take a listen to this, y'all. I can't believe what we didn't see. You know how like TikTok got trends, okay? I think this young lady then started a trend. I was scrolling through and I saw this lady. Look at this, y'all. But look at this.
Cooking with TT. Cooking with TT. So today we're making a arroz con dulces and
we got a cooking with TT now? Come on. No originality, no nothing? Come on now, TT. Come on. At least you're going to have to say, acknowledge that you're stealing people's intellectual property at this point, okay? You just highway robbery. You don't even got your own little dance. You stole the dance too. You stole the dance, the rhythm. Now, I don't know if the food is any good, but that ain't right. Come on now. I can't believe people is frauding it up like this on this internet. I can't believe this, y'all. Y'all got to put a stop to this. This type of stuff should not be going on. Like, look at the whole dance and how they look at it.
Cooking with TT. Cooking with TT.
Unfreaking believable, man. I don't understand why this fraud and stuff has to go on, but we got to put an end to this stuff, y'all. We can't be having this. Let me see here. The food don't even look as good to me. I don't know about y'all, but I don't think the food look as good. And her counter is not as clean. So if you gonna steal people's originality, you best do it better, okay? I don't even like the cook. I don't even like the cookware you working with. Nope. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I just don't understand where all these people coming from. I wish they would get their own originality, y'all. I really, really wish they do. But you know what? They say the best compliment is imitation. So I guess you guys gonna see a flood of this stuff. Next thing you know, she gonna be doing a video with CMG instead of DDG. It's a lot of ways to make money on this internet, y'all. So as y'all can see, come one, come all. Come one, come all, okay? That's all I can say about this, y'all. I don't think does her cooking look half bad, though? I don't know if her cooking look half bad. I ain't gonna lie. I can't tell if her cooking look half bad or not, but it's a little fraudulent in my eyes. You know, it's only one lady, okay? It's only one lady that's supposed to be singing like that, okay? And it ain't you. It ain't you. It's supposed to be this lady, okay? This lady right here. She the only one that's supposed to be dancing. Anyway, let us come back down to reality because they got all kind of stuff going on in these YouTube streets. Okay, I don't know what we missing on. Okay, shout out to my dog Tony in the building says for the water fund. Yeah, well, you know, you got these frauds out here. Hopefully she can cook. Hopefully she really can cook, y'all, because I don't believe the woman can actually cook. But if she can, I guess we're gonna have a cooking with TT as well, y'all. Does it hit like the original? No, I don't think it hit. I don't think it hits like the original. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't think it does. So I just saw that. I just had to acknowledge that when you are a game changer, when you are a culture impactor like Kaya is, I don't know what to tell you. She gonna have the whole internet flooding like this. Okay. I know there's been speculation on her name, and you know they're trying to dirty up her name as the internet always does, as they try to look up your government name, look for your parents, look for your job to try to get you fired and destroy your life. It's kind of sad that nobody's safe from that. A girl that's cooking on the TikTok, you willing to attack her and go after her. It's very shameful, y'all. But as someone that's been on the internet for a couple years now, it comes with the territory. At this point, I don't even argue about it no more. Just you know what to expect, okay? So I don't even get mad anymore, guys. I just don't. Okay. In other news, it's hard to be a successful man in the Black community, from what it seems to me. I was watching this Alba and Preach video, and they were covering a young lady that wanted to do a documentary. And I think Sharon was telling me about it last time we was talking. And he said there's this lady that wants to perform for 100 people in one day. Something like that. 100 people or 1,000. I'm going to say it was 100 because on the Alba and Preach video, it was 100 people. And she wanted to perform for 100 people in a day. And she said her family was not the most happiest about her decisions, but nonetheless, they kind of supported her. And you know what else happened? I'm going to tell y'all what else happened. She said when the guy asked her, because her parents was like, you're probably going to have trouble finding a husband after, 100 people in a day. She said, well, in this world, I think there's somebody for everybody, and there has to be some guy out there crazy enough to da-da-da-da. Then you got Adam 22. So when you think about it, it seems like there's always somebody for somebody, and live your own life. There's somebody out there for everybody, except for when you're a successful Black man. I was telling a young lady the other day, I said, you know what? Successful Black men belong to Black women. They do. But unsuccessful Black men do not belong to Black women. See, they don't care about you if you ain't getting no money. They don't care about you if you ain't success. But if you are, you still in one of they men. I want you to understand that. If you see a brother out here doing his thing, doing wealth, he could be single and run into you, and they gonna say you still in a man. That's just the facts of life. If the brother is doing well financially for himself, and he's interested in any other group, you stealing from them. That's how it works in their mind. Okay, but all the other bums, they don't belong to us. But that particular successful Black man, it's hard out here for them, because they don't have the level of freedom and understanding to have a different type of life. So what that means is this. I saw Sweetie say in an interview, a real man is going to give a woman a choice. Sweetie said that, and y'all like Sweetie, right? Isn't she from? She said, where she's from the Bay, right? She's Vallejo, Sacramento, something like that. I don't know. I never met her, but I heard she used to play the drums in college when she was dancing and stuff. But she said, a real man will give the woman the option, the choice to decide what she wants to deal with. And y'all know what was going on? Women was applauding all in the chat. That's right. I know that's right. That's what a real man would do. That's what was said. And to a degree, I kind of agree with that. But the successful black man, that's not his reality. That's not his reality. For example, Cam Newton is dating a girl named Jasmine Brown, right? And he was getting ridiculed, critiqued, etc., about his relationship. Nobody said to Cam, you know what? It's somebody for everybody. They didn't say that to Cam. They said, you need to act the way we want you to act because you're a successful black man with some money. So act the way we say so. That is a common theme. But originally, Sweetie said, just give a woman a choice, an option. And Cam was doing that. And y'all still try to tear the brother down, which is very common to people. Successful black men, y'all have to do as y'all told to do and live up to the standard that they set for you. You shouldn't be able to get the life you want. You shouldn't be able to have options. You shouldn't be able to get different type of people. Just do what you're told to do. Then you have another success story, okay? You have another success story, a brother that goes by the name of Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is constantly getting his name ridiculed because he has achieved what very few have. He has lived his life in the way in which he wants to live his life. He is tremendously successful. He's a very, very intelligent guy, handles his business, created a lot of children that he wanted to do with his life. And people came at him about this. But I thought to be a real one, you just had to give a woman the option. So they was blasting good old Saint Nick. Oh, why he doing all that? Why he acting? Choice. All of them, free will, all choice. And y'all still be hating. Y'all still be talking on it. Y'all still be mad. And you're only mad because Nick Cannon got the bag. We saw the guy in Tennessee with like 50 kids. Y'all don't want no problems with him. Y'all left him alone. Y'all don't even report on him. But when it came to Nick, because he got the money, y'all want him to be how y'all want him to be. The way I look at it is, if you're successful, you beat the odds, you should be able to have a life in which you choose, and it should be a little bit different from everybody else that's following the normal process. That's not, trendsetters. That's not individual thinkers. That's not curating their own life. People that are just following their schedule. Wake up, go to work, wake up, go to work, wake up, go to work, spend time with the kids, wake up, go to work, spend time, like following the schedule that they believe they're supposed to follow. The success for the black men. That's what I noticed. Because even Nick, they even got to Nick, okay? But it turns out Nick's woman, she got on there and told the truth about Nick Cannon. The truth, y'all. This is the truth, okay? She'll tell you.
Don't co-parent. We are very much together. And that's why people are confused. Wait, okay, can you explain, Bree, to the...
So just to clarify, they don't co-parent. They are very much together. But people are just confused because it's none of their business. But they only say that because they mad that Nick Cannon is able to accomplish and do the things in which he wants to do and live how he want to live while being a real one, while being one of the realest ones out there. You know how? Because he gave options. He gave choices to the same free people who say that that's what they want. We just want the choice. We want the option. We don't want to have to live our life the way somebody else tells us. If I want a kid, if I don't want a kid, if I want to stay, if I want to live with my family, if I don't want to live with I want all the options. But I'm just telling y'all the truth. Nick did all that. He did everything y'all asked him. Keep it real with him. I did that. Hey, man, take care of your children. I'm doing that. All my kids is good. Y'all don't see none of them begging for nothing on the side of the road. They in private schools. I picked phenomenal mothers for them. I did. Listen. I did what y'all couldn't do with one or two baby daddies. I went and did my research on their mothers. I made sure I made a very good decision on the mothers that I selected for them because I know the important role that they would play for them, and I always got their back if they ever need me. Nick Cannon, he exudes the type of energy. If you call up Nick Cannon and you ask him, bro, I need some help, he gonna make it happen. Tell me Nick Cannon don't exude that energy. Like, man, if you call up your homie Nick, you like, Nick, bro, I need this. Can you help me out? That he not gonna try to do everything in his power to get it done. Ain't that the feel y'all get from that good brother? Be honest. Some of y'all got friends like that y'all know y'all can call at any time, and they gonna do everything in their power to make sure you straight. Make sure they help you out as best as they can. To me, that's Nick Cannon. And they still try to tear him down. But can't stop, won't stop, Nick Cannon Records.
The listeners, who, if they don't know, I want to know your situation.
So me and my partner have been on and off for years, and basically he has other partners, and we're just open and happy, and that's our thing. So
what would you call that? Is that
people call it all kinds of shit? I call it just I do what I want to do.
It's just your situation.
I'm very I'm not a jealous person. I don't care about. I don't want a conventional relationship. I don't want like a full live-in person I'm responsible for. I'm responsible for my child.
Yeah.
Well, hold on there. There's a woman that for everybody, they say if he goes out, keeps it real, and finds a woman that's for everybody, you still mad at him? Yes, of course you are. She said, I don't even want to have to live. I don't want conventional. Sounds like there's possibly somebody even for somebody like a Nick Cannon. They are very much together raising a family, okay? And they have an extended family, which is not uncommon like some of y'all, okay? And she don't want to necessarily live, and she don't want to necessarily be responsible for a whole man. Now, I only say that because I always find it weird when people say, you got a whole husband at home, you got a whole wife at home, like what's a half of or something, right? So I always just do that to top. But she don't want that responsibility. She's want to be responsible for the kids. Sounds like almost every woman, in my estimation. Sounds like almost every woman. Just give me my baby and don't make me be responsible for you like that, but we good. Don't that sound like almost every woman? When the kid come around, pecking order, drop the man down. Psh. So to me, it seemed like Nick is doing exactly what makes the most sense. Pick me a woman, and he's doing a phenomenal job at selecting the parents. I ain't hear nothing. Y'all saw what happened with T.I. kid, right? He get arrested, all these things. I ain't heard none of Nick's kids getting arrested. I ain't heard none of Nick's kids in the principal's office. I ain't heard nothing bad about Nick's kids, okay? So y'all leave Nick alone, okay? Good old Saint Nick is handling his business, okay? He selected very great women with great energy, great spirits, okay? And he selected them based off the way in which his life is and what fits that. Now, nothing going to be perfect, but Nick, he's a successful brother. He deserved the opportunity. They not all babies, Olive. They not all babies, okay? Look it up. They got the twins with Mariah. They ain't no baby. Trust me. Didn't you see that new Tubi movie that they dropping where that little kid that's bad that they about to adopt? I seen it. I seen a little trailer for it. And it looked a little scary. I ain't gonna watch it then because the kid looked bad. He looked pretty bad. He looked like he was up to something. So I ain't gonna watch it all. But come on, these kids can be really bad. These kids can be very bad. So shout out to Nick. Shout out for living the life that you want to live, my brother, that you've earned. Made it through the mud and made some of yourself. Turn into greatness, okay? And don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody try to take it away from you, sir. Don't you? Absolutely not, okay? Just want to let y'all know that when y'all trying to tear these good brothers down, I won't stand for it, especially not no Nick Cannon. Everybody knows how much I like Nick Cannon. So, now that we cleared that up and we got Cooking with TT on the horizon, hey, if y'all want her at, let me know. I'll drop it in the chat for y'all because I know y'all want to stalk her too because that's what y'all do. A little bit of stalkers. My dog Sells in the building says, what up, my brother? Ready for another great show? Yeah, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. We're not here for a long time, just for a good time, okay? And shout out to my dog Sell. He gifted 1 membership to the team. Gang. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Travel One, don't start that. I had Travel One. Don't make me put you on timeout. Now, that's just my opinion, y'all. Y'all feel free to tear me down if you want, but that's just my opinion. I think Nick did a great job of selecting the mothers. I don't know anything bad. I've heard nothing bad about the women. They ain't really coming out speaking too much. And honestly, they are women, so they're going to have something to say. They women. They're going to have something to say. Sell like, remember, I'm the first. I ain't forgot, brother. Don't worry. I ain't forgot. Don't worry. I ain't forgot. Next year, we're going into 2025. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe the year is almost over. It has been so busy. We've been working so hard. Shout out to everybody that's been grinding, working their butt off. That you didn't even realize we're about to be in a new year. That's how crazy this year been. Just grinding, working. We didn't forgot. Okay, now let's get to the point of the show today. The thing that I want to discuss: family business. I don't know. Trinity Rodman discusses her relations with Dennis Rodman. Okay, Sales at work, getting that bag right now. That's what I'm talking about. Keep steadfast, my brother. Keep grinding. I can't believe this year is over. But I'm going. You know what I'm gonna do next year? The same thing again. Okay, like Pinky said, try to take over the world again. Now let's get into the show. Okay, Trinity. You know, I first heard of her name because I had no idea who she was. Because I guess she plays sports. Beats me. But she's been rumbling in these YouTube streets, these social media streets, for some comments that she made on a podcast in reference to Dennis Rodman. Okay, I'm going to cover that. I'm going to give you my, unfortunately, unfiltered thoughts. Not really going to hold back. I'm just going to say what I say, and then we're going to go from there. Let me let y'all listen to what she said so we on the same page, because some of y'all probably heard it and some of y'all probably have not. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Here we go. Let me pull it up. All right. This here is Trinity. Now, she's on a podcast. I don't know which one it is. Let me see if I can track it down and find out which one it is. Call Her Daddy. Okay, yeah, that's a famous podcast. All right. Mufasa, what's good, brother? Call Her Daddy up. That sounds crazy. That's a podcast name. I swear to God, that sounds crazy to me. But that's the name of it. That's what it's titled there, right? On this podcast, somehow, some way, Trinity decided to have a conversation about family business. I don't know why. And this is what was said, okay? Y'all listen. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Halfway through the first half, and I hear it.
Let me make sure I got it.
And like his voice to me is like, ding. So I hear him go, "Let's go, Rodman. Let's go, Trinity." And I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's no way this is happening right now. Mind you, I haven't seen him or talked to him in months. So I hear it and I'm like, I'm playing a game, not like throw in nothing. Like I'm playing a game and I hear I'm running. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm still playing and I'm like, there's no way. I'm like chasing the ball down, trying to figure out a goal kick happens, right? I'm defending a goal kick. And I'm like in my stance kind of, and I look back and I'm like, what the I look straight and I like start crying on the field. So I'm trying to play the soccer game and I'm crying. So yeah, I finished that half and then cry my eyes out in the locker.
Now listen to that. Currently, she's expressing that somewhere in the stand she hears a voice screaming, "Go Trinity!" Da 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 da. You know, and she recognizes the voice, but she's like, "There's no way." Then, as she continues to go on, she hears that voice and her brain get louder. It gets you know how if you've ever been an athlete, right? When you're when you're playing, you actually tone everything out. Like you can't even hear people yelling and screaming your name half the time because you just zoned in. Like when people say locked in a zone, if y'all never played a sport or ever never was even decent, and we just talking about high school, middle school, I don't even Mighty Mites, if that's what you have to go back to, sir. I'm not judging. But when you get in that zone, you can't hear people yelling in the stands like that. Like they might be saying something, but you can't grasp it. But for her, his voice was isolated to her, just like shh. It hit her world, and she started crying on the field. Now, in my opinion, I ain't really heard of stuff like that before, but that's what happened. She cried, then she finished the half, and then she went in the locker room and cried some more.
Locker room at halftime, and my coach was like, "Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to win." Hello? I'm like, he is not going to take me from winning this. It's like halfway through the first half, and I either. So yeah, we finished the game.
Were you able to like play well?
Yeah. So I took the shot, ricocheted back, and Hatch scored it for us to win.
Yeah, you did.
Awesome. And then after the game, when we were winning, there's that part in your head where like the whistle's gonna blow, and all I was thinking was like, oh my god, I'm gonna see him, I'm gonna talk to him, like what's gonna happen. The whistle blew, and I was so like mad. I was like, you took this happy moment from me, like you my head again. And he did it so many times, and I don't even know. No, I think he knows what he does. But when the game ended, I was so angry. I was happy we won, but I was just like, And then I started getting mad at my mom because I was like, she had to have known. Why didn't she tell me like all this stuff? And then I walk over, and again, there's cameras everywhere. Dennis Rodman's at the game. And I walk over there, and all I did was cry. I was like, I'm walking over there so mad, like you. I walk over there, he grabs my head, and I just start bawling into his arms as if like it's a dad either. So yeah, we finished the game.
Were you able to like play well?
Yeah. A daughter, like, and I'm just like, this is the first game you've come to, quarterfinal. You missed the entire season. Haven't seen my games in 3, 4, 5 years.
Now she's saying quarterfinals. He comes to the game. She says he hasn't seen her game in 4 or 5 years. That's her assessment. Okay.
And I'm just like bawling. I cried and then I was super happy. I was like, let's take the positive of it. He's here. Like, that's more than I can ask. Left. I think I just went home because I had training the next day. And we just kind of left it at that. And he was just like, I want to see you soon. I'm in DC, whatever. And I was like, okay. And then after that, radio silence. I didn't see him for like until this year.
Wait, how many years ago was this?
3. My daughter, like, So then it was just like, I think after that was when I lost hope in like ever getting him back. It was just going to be like he's popping in whenever he wants to be in a camera. And even at that game, I don't think it was for me. I think he wanted to have a good conscience and then be like, headline, Dennis Rodman showed up to his daughter's game.
Let's start right there. She's saying that she don't believe he was there to see her. She believed he was there for the media so the media could see that he showed up for his daughter's game. That's her claim.
An important quarterfinal in her rookie year. And that's exactly what it was. So then it was just like, I think after that was when I lost hope in like ever getting him back. It was.
Now, she said some other things. Let me see if I can track him down. She said some other things. I don't know if I can track him down. Hold on. Let's see if I can track it down. Because I'm pretty sure I could. I'm pretty sure I can track it down to what she said. All right. Can I find it? This might be harder to find than I thought, my friends. But here's the more important part, right? She basically said he wasn't a dad. I really want to find her comments so I can read them. All right. We'll just go with this, okay? This is good enough, okay? This is what it says, okay? And this is her quote. He's not a dad, maybe blood, but nothing else. So that's the statement she said, okay? Not a dad, maybe blood, but nothing else. So, these are my thoughts around these statements, okay? This is my opinion. To me, she needs to grow up. She's not a child anymore. She's an adult. And holding on to things you were as a child is not healthy. Your relationship dynamic is not the same. It's just my opinion. At some point, you have to grow up and be an adult. See, somewhere in that interview, she talked about her mom, and she called her mom, how close she is with her mom, right? I think children have the hardest time, just like sometimes parents do, at realizing the relationship has evolved. Meaning, I'm still like biologically your parent, but you're not a child anymore. You're an adult. And I have to adjust my role. And most parents struggle with understand the hierarchy has changed. Yeah, you're my parent, but you can't boss me around no more. You can't tell me what to do no more. Some of y'all still scared of y'all parents. I didn't heard y'all say, my mama did this to me. At some point, they not the boss of you anymore. I don't know what world y'all gonna figure that out. But as an adult, you make your own decisions. You don't. And a lot of times, these kids, they retain their relationship as childhood as the same as an adulthood. It's not the same. You're not restricted the same. You shouldn't think as a child. You should think as an adult. And when you make comments like, not a dad, maybe blood, but nothing else, that's totally fine with me, right? You can feel how you want to feel. But I'll say this. There are a lot of people that have been upset with their parents. There are a lot of people that have been upset with their mothers or dads, people that have not been present for their lives, and they've been upset. My thing is this. I've seen people disown their parents, go, what is it called? No contact, claim that they'll never speak to them again. I know somebody, they didn't speak to their parent until they were on their deathbed. On their deathbed. That's many, many, many years. And they didn't speak to them for years. And they only got a few weeks with them left because they were on their deathbed, right? You can make all the claims you want about Dennis Rodman. And some of them may be accurate, some of them may not be, right? The problem is you grow up at some point. It's just my opinion. Okay, you guys can coddle people their whole life and say, oh, yeah, because somebody didn't do something for you when you were 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. It's okay as an adult to be upset and angry about that part of your life. Go ahead. That's just childish to me. You're an adult now. That's my opinion, though. And here's to expound on that. Dennis Rodman clearly is someone that struggled a lot with addiction to a lot of things. We've all seen it. He's not no model or none of that. Hey, Jay Ali. He's not no model or none of that. And so when I choose to speak about Nick Cannon, it's not for a random reference. It's an intentional reference, right? There's a post that I saw from this person right here. Let me pull it up for you. And I'm just going to read it to you because you might can't see it. I'll read it to you, right? This is what it says. Me sending my son with his dad full time instead of putting him on child support because he's actually the better acclimated parent financially. He's the better acclimated parent, especially financially. So I'm sending the kid to go be with their dad full time. And I tie all this to say that when you're a child, you feel how you feel. It's all emotions. But you don't know the experience of life, what it's like to be an adult. And that your parents are humans. See, that's the one advantage that I tend to have over some people is that I don't forget that your own parents are humans and they're not super mom and super dad. You may think they are. And some of you might be lucky enough to get a super mom and super dad. And good for y'all. But they're just humans. They are full of trauma just like you are. They're full of trial and error. And they have a life they have to live whether you exist or you didn't exist. Okay? Now, when I look at the choice that Nick Cannon made, I said he made good selection for the mothers of his children because he probably knew how important the selection would be. And the one thing I can't stand about children that grow up to be adults is how they always blame the parent who was not present enough for their liking. They always do that. But the parent with the most influence on them, they can get away with anything. Yeah, they could be eating out of the trash can together. As long as you stay with me, I'm glad we can eat out the trash together. Could be struggling, homeless, but thank you for staying. We're homeless together, right? Here's the point. See, Trinity mother knew exactly who Dennis Rodman was. Nobody in the world, not you, not me, not Stevie Wonder's children, etc., thought Dennis Rodman was going to be a present, involved father. None of us. Nobody. If you had to bet your life savings on it, y'all wouldn't do it. Nobody thought that. But your best friend is your mom. The selection of Dennis Rodman. She chose him. And see, when you want to talk about he's not a dad, maybe blood, but nothing else, when you want to make those claims, I'm totally for that. But he's not a nobody. He's one of the most famous people on the planet, like it or not. Whenever they hear that last name, Rodman, it's attributed to him. No matter what you think of him, or if he was as great as you want him to be, is because a lot of times we struggle with this. We want people to be who we want them to be. We want people to be who we want them to be. Our children, our parents, whoever it is, we want them to act and be like how we want them to act. For me, I want people to be them. I want people to be themselves. I can't change nobody, and I'm not looking to change you, and I don't want you to be who I want you to be. I want you to be you. But too many times, parents and children get attached to that role of deciding who they think somebody should be and act how they think somebody should act. Comparison is the destruction of all joy. So how do we know what a good parent is? I don't know. We compared to somebody. Where did the phrase even come from? I don't know. We got it from somebody. It's all comparisons. It's all comparisons. And so I'm not making the claim that Dennis Rodman is the greatest man on the planet. But from what it sounds like, it didn't sound like she said that my dad used to beat me as a child. She said he wasn't present a lot. And when I wanted to see him, he didn't really show up. Well, yes, because your mother wanted somebody like that. Did you see the video I played earlier with Bree Tessie? And she talked about how she with Nick and they don't have a conventional relationship, and she don't want to be responsible for a man, but she only want to be responsible for her child. And she has a right to choose the type of lifestyle and the person that she want to deal with for her life. Your mother has the right to choose the type of man in which she produces a child with, the child be you, and she knew exactly who he was. We all knew who he was when we was 8 years old, watching him play basketball. We all knew. And if he's so bad, then do something that, in my opinion, other people have done when they don't want nothing to do with him. Because I believe she said she don't want nothing to do with him. She said, I'm done with you, right? Change your last name. Remove the Rodman from your last name. I've seen people do it for less. If he's so much of a nothing and so unimportant, remove that last name that he built, that gave you the advantages in life that you get now. Remove that last name. Change it to something else. We don't care. Change it to your mom's last name. We've seen women do that for less. They know that's the dad. They know that's the baby's father, and they won't even give their child that man's last name. So go ahead and change your last name. That's his. He built that. So no matter what you think about him or what you think of him, because you're entitled to your feelings and thoughts. But I say, since you want to talk about family business, if he's nothing, change your name. Change the name that he built, that he made famous, that he allows you to get on these podcasts. Because let's just be honest, nobody would care about you if you wasn't his daughter. You ain't that good of a player. I'm sorry. You feel how you want to feel about it. There are greater players than you that have played and still playing, and we don't care about them on podcasts. We only care because the dynamic of the relationship with your father, who is a very famous man, who played on one of the most historic franchises and teams, one of the greatest players ever, and was one of the greatest to ever play. He built a name. He built a celebrity. He built a personality. He built recognition. That last name ring bells. If you ask somebody, you know Rodman? It's only one Rodman we know on the whole entire planet. We don't know another Rod. You ain't got no neighbor named Rodman. Nobody else has that last name. We don't know nobody else with that last name. He did that. He built that. It don't matter. There's a lot of stars on a lot of teams, Carl. Just like the star for the Las Vegas Aces. Nobody care about her either. She got her MVP, and we all talk about Caitlin Clark. So like I said, that's the point. She is getting this recognition because of who her father is and her last name and what he's built. That's just the facts. You can find. She can be really good at what she does. Like I said, there are a lot of people that have been greater or better. We don't care about them either. They don't really get talked about that, especially in women's sports. Just being candid. I think she should change her last name. Be done with him. Change that name. Don't continue to monetize off the name that he's built since he's nothing. You're done with him. We can get rid of his name. I think it's the right thing to do. In my opinion, I will say I've seen people do it. I've seen people literally change their name. I've seen people literally change. Oh, man, I don't want nothing to do with him. Change the name. Then for me, you'll be given a level of credence to your statements. Change the name. That's what I think should happen. I absolutely think you should change the name. But do you think she will? Do you think she not benefits in every way from having that last name? You're not a child anymore. If you were a child and you were mad, my dad doesn't see me, you're 12 years older, I understand you're not a child anymore. You're grown. And forgive him if he only shows up to a game here and there. That man has fighting and suffering to get through life. As you know, he battles with a lifelong addiction. If you don't know anything about addiction, look up the science to it. If y'all ask people, look, when we come from the project, man, we know somebody that's been on with it for about 60 years. So understanding how difficult it is to live that life and battle what he's had to battle through, I don't make an excuse for him. He's a grown man. But he sure has a difficult life, one that he brought on himself, but he still has to navigate it. So I'm sorry if he's not the most dependable person on the planet. Most guys like him aren't. Why do you think we have drug testing? Why do you think we have restrictions on people using stuff? Because they are not reliable. They cannot be trusted with certain things. They are not responsible. Just like your mother knew. Just like your mother knew. And that's exactly the guy she wanted to take advantage. I mean, that's exactly the guy she wanted to marry and deal with. He never made a secret of who he was. His life is so much of an open book, we wish it wouldn't be. But I'm sure you're going to celebrate and scream to the top of your lungs how much you love your mom, which I have no problem with. But just know, and this is my opinion, I think Dennis Rodman, just from afar, from what I can do, we all can gauge people pretty well. It's what we do. He seemed like just one of those peaceful souls that just, he want to exist like it's the 60s and 70s, man. Like, oh, man, I'm going to be from one city to one city. I have freedom and all that type of stuff. I'm sorry. He not like the rest of the people that want to be bunkered down and work a job and come home to their family and kids every single day back and forth. He wasn't designed that way. Just like Brie Tessie told you how her relationship with Nick Cannon is not designed that way, it's their choice. Just like your mother made a choice to deal with him, and we all knew. I don't want to hear people change. He never changed. He's exactly who he's always been. Always who he's been. So if you feel that repulsed by him, change his last name. The one thing that you can't take from that man, the one thing that he did good with his life, because look, some people don't do nothing with their life, their whole life. But the one thing he did do was build that name on the back of your jersey. It's afforded you a level of privilege that you now revel in. Yes, your life may have been troubles growing up a little bit here and there, and you might have had to move a lot, and that's not really different from a lot of other people. But as an adult, see, this is a struggle that a lot of people have with their life. And this is something that a lot of young people have problems with. is you only see yourself as a child, as a young person. You don't understand that you have to navigate the majority of your life as an adult. We're only young per se for maybe a quarter of our life. We're only not adults for so-called 18 years of our life. People can make the argument about, oh, you're not an adult unless you're 21 and you can drink and all that kind of stuff. I don't care what the argument is. But the point is this. We don't like to plan for the 70, 80 years we're living and then say, okay, once we've turned 40 and 50, how are we going to navigate our life then? We don't like to plan for stuff like that. That's why retirement plans are destroyed. And this is why young people only see what they went through when they were 11, 12, and 13. Oh, you remember that one time we ain't had no food in the refrigerator? That's why we constantly connect with people on our past. When you see your homie from the past you ain't seen, oh, remember that one time we had to share that bag of chips? We was hungry. That's what we do. We think about what happened when we was, back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. We go back into when we was kids. But now, as an adult with autonomy and control over your own life, you can now navigate it. You're in control of your own vehicle. Shout out to Artifacts. And so now you having knowledge, you're actually good at a sport. Nobody's taking away how good you are. For whatever that means in women's sports, I don't know. But as an adult with social media access, with some level of a college degree, possibly you seem like you're college educated. You seem like you most likely got into a decent school. I'm going to say who your father is, whether you want to acknowledge him or not. It has helped you tremendously as you navigate adulthood. As a child, I get it. He wasn't there. You want to hang out with him more. That's what kids want. But as an adult, I can tell you right now, if my dad is Michael Jordan, if my dad is Scottie, if my dad is one of the greatest historical basketball player in somewhat of the modern generation, and I'm actually decent or really good at my sport, and I have his last name, and I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if you guys consider her an attractive girl or not, because I know that does place some precedence to it. So I don't know if you guys consider her an attractive girl or not. That's not the most relevant to me. I will say that she kind of does look a little like Zendaya, just a little bit. And everybody knows I love Zendaya, but that's because she's class personified. But you telling me now you can go on podcasts, you can monetize your last name, you can get interviews, you can write a book of what it's like to be his child. Like, you can make so much money off of the name that he built. And that's what adults get to do. This is why all that whining and crying as a child. You're not a child. Well, back in the days when we was young, I'm not a kid anymore. We not kids no more. You're an adult. And as you prepare to be an adult, you have been afforded a level of privilege because of who your father was, and a level of sympathy, and a level of, we want you to be successful. We want you to be great. So you got people rooting for you because of the sob story. So you get to monetize all of this with social media like you're doing right now. The most eye-popping thing on that podcast that was said was about your dad. It wasn't even about you. He's so irrelevant and so much of a nobody. The most important thing that people are taking away from that interview of that podcast with you is the conversation about your pops, that you don't necessarily see him as your pops. He might be blood, whatever that means to you, but other than that, he's nobody. Other than that, he's nobody. Somehow, some way, his name funnels the headlines. And nobody knows nothing else about that podcast where you came there to talk about your life and who you are. Nobody knows nothing more about you. Nobody's talking nothing about your accomplishments and what you're doing, which tells me he's still a big deal. He's still a big story. He's still relevant. He's still somebody. His name still ring bells in these streets. And you're not ignorant to that. You're quite aware of the impact that your father has. And that's why you're monetizing it on that podcast, which actually I believe you have every right to do. He wasn't present a lot as you as a child. He owe you to some degree that you don't go ahead and make a bag off his name. Because look, I'm going to tell you like this. There's some people in my chat right now. Hold on, let me get my charger. It's some people in my chat right now that they might not have a great relationship with their mom or dad, one of the parents. Boy, if they would have left them some money, they would have been good with that. Yeah, hey, man, my pops wasn't around, but he did leave us his house. Yo, my pops wasn't around, but he did leave us some money. We got 50 bands. Oh, yeah, my pops wasn't around, but I could go get an interview and get paid $20,000 to talk about him, $10,000 to talk about him. Do you know how many of us be like, I take that. Our life ain't perfect. Stuff happens. But he at least done something. Give me some level, some leverage I can use to take advantage of. And now, look, I even got my own talent. So the way that you might look at a Bronny James, this is not an exact science, obviously, where he's obviously benefiting from being LeBron James' son. Well, it's clear you're benefiting from being Dennis Rodman's daughter. Heck, the headline says Dennis Rodman's daughter. You have not accomplished anything enough to separate your name from his yet to where your name come first. And that's not a knock against you because greatness is greatness. And he was great. It's hard to elevate above greatness. LeBron James' son has no chance. Michael Jordan's children have no chance. They all tried a little bit, couldn't do it. Tiger Woods' son, we'll see. Because the way Tiger fizzled off at the end of his career, his son might got an opportunity there. But in a general sense, that greatness can never be punctured, can never be altered, can never be changed. You could just be decent or really good. The passing that level of greatness, GOAT type talk greatness, good luck. And most people will probably tell you Dennis Rodman is the greatest rebounder to ever walk the planet in basketball. Pound for pound, size for size. 99% of people will tell you he's the GOAT. Especially if they know sports. So I understand your frustrations, but you can be class personified. You can say, I'm not going to talk about my father. I want to build my own pathway. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about me. But talking about him, ding, 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 is going to get you on these podcasts. That's just the facts. So if he's so bad, like you indicated, I suggest you drop his last name and change it to something else. Trinity Greatness. Change your last name to Greatness if you want. But don't take that away from him. Don't take that accomplishment away from him because he worked his butt off for that. So I don't necessarily take kindly to the lambasting that you do with takes when it comes down to your father. Now, I think that he's deserving of it in the sense of you have a right to express how you feel. But there's a way to do things with class if you're going to act like you got class. And then when you're going to say things like he's nothing, there's a way to act like somebody ain't nothing. Return everything. Like this is the thing. When your dad didn't pay for your private school, and I'm not saying he does, I'm just using it as an example. And he paid for your Mercedes Benz and all this, and you go to your dad and say, you ain't nothing to me. You ain't nothing. You know what he's going to say? Well, give my Mercedes Benz back. Give me my tuition that I paid for you back. Give me my last name back then. Now, he not going to say it because Rodman's not built like that. And he know he done wrong. And he knows that, unfortunately, for the way and the lifestyle that he lived and his troubled life that he's having to endure and how he endures it, he knows that, he's going to get this type of response. He knows that. But it seems to us, and it seems like you turned out all right. It seems like you turned out all right to us. The way we just look, you're smiling, both your arms, you making good money. You got a name. Looks like your life turned out just fine. And just like the other lady said in the post that I played, sometimes you have to make the decision that you may not be what's best for the child. And a lot of times, parents who are imperfect beings, a lot of times they decide, I'm not good for that child. I'm not good for that child, so I'm going to remove my presence there. And a lot of times they do that. And it's not fair. It's not what we want as kids. We want our super parents, especially as a daughter. I get it. Dads to daughters, man, is Superman, the highest level, man. It really is. And I get it. It's a feeling that it's really hard. I get it. But you're an adult now with your own accomplishments, your own success. You don't have to go down this pathway. You don't have to continue to blast him on social media and things like that. Look, if your parent is him and the way he is, he not even saying bad things about you. He not. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that's my daughter. She really good at soccer and everything, and I'm just so proud of her. I'm sorry if he just talk about you a lot. He ain't saying nothing bad. He ain't saying you don't want to do your homework or nothing like that, so I'm sorry. You don't have to get on a podcast and support the destruction of him. So many people have tried to tear him down. So many people have tried to tear him down already. You don't need to be a part of that. A lot of us get our feelings hurt as children. But when you're an adult, you put away childish things. And so you and I are more equipped than a lot of people when it comes to dealing with things like this, because your dad, an addiction. So forgive him for not being able to accomplish the things that you did by not having these certain issues. But you don't need to participate in the tearing down of him. You can participate in uplifting your own character by saying, that's my dad. He's went through what he went through, and that's where I'll leave it at. That's class. Even if you hurt, even if it's breaking your soul, that ain't for them to know. We just got on Travis Hunter and his girl running her mouth to the media. That ain't for us to know. Now you got me reporting on it. You got other people talking about it. You don't have to talk about that. You could have said, no, let's talk about me. I would say the classy thing to do is always to take the high road. Unless somebody trying to bring you down, which it don't seem to me, that's his goal. Shout out to the real Frank right in the building, says happy holidays, thanks to the grind all year long. All year long. Okay, everybody been grinding. That's how I looked at it. Man, don't do that. Don't do that to him. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying he's great. I think you need to take the higher road. That's just my opinion. Now, when you was a child, when you were a kid, you can lash out of anger. You're just a kid. But as an adult, there's a certain decorum in which you should conduct yourself, a certain tact. There are certain things that you shouldn't conduct with, in my opinion. But if you're going to monetize off his name in this way, don't do him dirty like that. If you're going to just like, he wasn't there for me, that's cool. But you know what? I love my papa. Just say you still love your dad because you're crying like a big old baby bawling in his arms for a reason. Because you know that he obviously didn't do much to you to escape. Because look, when children have been abused by their parents, they won't do that. They won't be crying in their arms. They'd be standing far away from them. So he just one of those dads that just didn't show up when you wanted him to show up. I get it. That pissed people off. A lot of us got stories. Yeah, man, my dad said he gonna come get me on Friday and we're gonna have some food. We're going to McDonald's and all these things. And Friday come up and he ain't nowhere to be found. And that's the story of your childhood. And then continues to persist into your adulthood because the issues that troubled him, it still follows him. While the success that you have from the experience that you did or didn't good drove you to be who you are. Ask athletes, it drives them to be great when there's a parent that they want to see how great they are. Do you see how good I am? Do you see I'm the best? See, their absence creates that drive for people. Because see, a lot of times, a lot of these kids get spoiled and they don't have that drive. They say that about Michael Jordan's kids. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm saying they say that. So that missing component, that thing, that helped drive who you are, whether you like it or not. And I'm going to always acknowledge you have a right to your feelings. But I don't have to agree with the way you conduct them as an adult. I have a right to critique you as an adult. I would never critique you as a child. But as an adult, I just think you can conduct yourself a little bit better. Don't take every opportunity to go on a podcast and blast your thought. Don't do it. Don't do that. Take the higher road. Prove that you are who you say you are. Because that man is already beaten down. That man is already struggling. We all see it. We saw since he was in his 20s playing with the Bulls and the Detroit Pistons. We saw what he was going through. We saw his lifestyle. And we know he has not escaped that. So we don't think he's the model Faja of the year. But I also can see in him that he's just a loving spirit. That's just who he is, a loving spirit. That's how he got all those women gravitated towards him. Yeah, you want this? All right, we buy this. He'll blow all his money on people. Like, when you've been around long enough, and that's the thing about age, and that's the thing about experience, you are able to analyze the world at a better pace and realize, oh, you that type of personality. Y'all know how y'all do those zodiac signs? Well, I don't do zodiac signs, but I do analyze. And it's not that hard to identify certain traits and characteristics in people and go, that's most likely what you like, and yada, yada, yada. And then you guys bring it to the light and prove it to us. So, no, he's not perfect. But you have a chance and an opportunity going forward to not go on social media and destroy his name, not make things worse than they need to be. And if the worst thing he's doing is showing up to your games unannounced, like a fan could, as long as he's not disparaging your name and saying bad things about you growing up, like you didn't want to listen as a kid, I think the path you going down, you can't come back from. You might not like the things you are saying right now in 5 or 10 years when you have children and you realize those children don't owe you nothing to be like how you want them to be. They got their own life to navigate. You might realize life is a little different, okay? After she said what she said, that he was not a dad, maybe blood, but nothing else, basically, he's nothing, in my opinion. That's what she said. He released a statement. This is what Dennis Rodman had to say. Pay attention to the language. Sorry, I wasn't the dad you wanted me to be. But either way, I still tried. And I still try and never will stop. I will keep trying even when you're being told as an adult not to respond to my phone calls. I will try even when it's difficult and if it takes a long time. I'm always here and tell you all the time, whether it's your voice or voicemail, how proud I am. I always had one wish, And it was, I wish my kids would call me and come see me. Hopefully one day I can get that. I'm here and I'm still trying to pick up the phone. You have my number. You see me calling. I'm still here, Dennis Rodman, a.k.a. Dad. FYI, I watch you play all the time. Actually, flew in to watch you play and was told not to show up because who I was with instead, and me just wanting to support you. So I watch you from my hotel balcony just to make everybody happy. I love all my kids. That's the untold truth. Take an opportunity to step back. For all y'all who have parents and y'all have a troubled relationship, take a moment to step back and don't look at them as you're their kid. Just take a neutral stance and go, all right, I'm not their kid. I'm an analyst. I just want to analyze from a neutral perspective human beings, right and wrong, how humans are, lifestyle, all those things, and really make a decision that way. What you will hear is that he said similar things that I said, right? I didn't even read this before. He said, I wasn't the dad you wanted me to be. Perfect. He's basically exactly explaining what I'm saying. That is a common issue we have, wanting people to be who we want them to be. It's a common issue. And it's not something that I suffer very much from because I have no problem allowing people to be who they want to be. One thing I'm proud about Dennis, and shout out to my boy HD in the building, says salute. One thing I am proud about what Dennis Rodman is doing is that he said, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep calling. But even when somebody's hurting you, and I know this is hard because the hardest thing to do is to operate in an impartial view while in pain. I try to analyze myself so much in how I respond to things and how I think about things. And I'm like, am I thinking about it the right way? Should I be wrong? Is that wrong? Should I be upset? Can I be upset? Don't be upset. Why would you want to be upset? Like all of these things. And I try to take a fair, neutral approach, understand who I am, understand who people are. And it's a lot, right? But when I'm listening to him, I'm saying, okay, he ain't gave up, though. Do you know how many people in life give up? Do you know how many people that's been through what he been through give up? He ain't gave up, though. And he still remember every time he saw you as a kid, all the time y'all spent together, all the time you hugged him, said, I love you, Dad. He was there. Clearly, I seen the pictures of y'all. I seen when your mom was married to him. Not perfect, but he has a life and he has an experience too. Because a lot of times, and this is for all y'all that's listening, a lot of times we only see the world in the way in which we experience the world, but we don't see how the world experiences us. And that's not a simple thing to understand. But a lot of times we see the world on how we experience it, but not how the world experiences us. And I'll give an easier example. We see our parents for how they treat us, but do we see our parents for how we treat them? How we see them or don't see them, or how we understand or don't understand? We so far gone in society that we believe that parents aren't owed anything while having to do anything and everything, while possibly not getting anything out of because you decided to do something, which is an insane way to look at it. Because I don't know when we start thinking like that, because before you belong to them. But that's another conversation for another day. Do you know what you do to the world? We all understand your emotions and feelings on what the world does to you, but what do you do to the world? Yeah, Hayward, I know you was going to say that. Parents chose to have children. Yeah, I've been dealing with that a lot, and they can give you up for adoption too. See, I think a little different from everybody else. A lot of people follow the same thought process as what they was told. This is what a good parent is. You have no idea of knowing that unless somebody tell you something. Because a lot of us don't think for ourselves. We don't even have the brain to. We're so indoctrinated. It's so hard to do that. We can't even deprogram. So for me, parents can choose to have you and they can choose to raise you however they want to choose to raise you, whether present, not present, present part-time, present all the time. There's a lot of variance there, but the point of it is they have a life too. Their life don't stop just because they become your parents. You may think it's supposed to because the world said when you choose to have kids, they're your priority now. You can feel how you want to feel, but that ain't the facts of life, and that ain't the way that life has to go. And that ain't even the way that life always goes or will go. So just because the world tells you one thing, it doesn't mean the world operates that way. The world owes you no understanding. And once you realize the world owes you no understanding, you can get understanding. Hayward says their life is adjusted to fit the children. No, you may think that's the best thing to do for your life. I'm going to adjust my life to fit my children. Go ahead and do that if you want to. But I'm going to tell you a secret. You may not be familiar with the Aaron O show. You may be, right? I'm not necessarily for everybody. I don't follow what the crowd says. I think for myself. See, a lot of people that have nothing else going on for their life besides their children, which is most people, you think like that. Oh, yeah, I got to adjust my life to my children. But when you have something bigger than your children, you're more important to the world, or the value that you bring to the world is bigger than your children, you don't say comments like that. Elon Musk's world don't revolve around his children. Bill Gates' world doesn't revolve around his children. Warren Buffett's world doesn't revolve around his children. Jeff Bezos' world doesn't revolve around their children. Anybody that's doing anything bigger than their family, which is impact, which not a lot of people get to live that life. That's why most people have that statement that you have, which is, I'm going to adjust my life to my children. Well, your life, that's as big as your life going to get. You can feel how you want to feel about it. That's as big as your life going to get. That's the impact that you have to the world. It's not my fault. That's just the facts. But if your life was building rockets or protecting the world, the United States from foreign, and you had to be on call 24 hours a day, and you had to work 19-hour shifts, you wouldn't be able to adjust your life around your children. But hey, that's just how I think. This ain't personal, by the way. I don't know you. I don't think you've been on my show, so I don't know. I'm just explaining to you how I see things and how I think. And I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm telling you that there's a big difference. There's a big, big difference, okay? LeBron James' life is not assimilated around his children. When you do greater things than just children, that's why we try to tell people, most of y'all life, y'all greatest thing gonna be y'all children. So buckle up and focus on that. But for some people who life is bigger than that, it may be something you'll never understand if you only think one way. See, I've been afforded an opportunity to not follow the crowd, not think and do the things that everybody else does. You have to think differently. You have to do differently. A lot of people want to do social media, but they're scared. Most people are scared. What does that tell me? Don't be scared. The world is just different. We see it differently. I do not believe you build your world around your children. I absolutely don't believe that. Now, I have no problem with anybody who says, my life is my children. If that's what you want your life to be, go ahead. But I'm going to tell y'all something as somebody's child, and a lot of y'all can attest to this. If I have sons in the chat and I have daughters in the chat, how often do sons call their parents compared to daughters? When sons become adults, most times they have a life that they have to navigate a certain way, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. They're not calling their parents like that. Now, daughters, on the other hand, they call their mom once a week. Sometimes they call their mom every single day. We have different dynamics. So you can make your children your whole world. And listen, I don't know the right way or the perfect way, right? You might know perfect world. I don't. I know adjusting and dealing with the world. When your children leave, you got a life you still got to navigate, and that house gets real empty when those kids is gone. Hence why you hear a lot of parents say, and I'm not going to even specify gender in this one, I don't know what my life is because my life has always been my kids up until this point. And I just don't know what to do with my life. All my kids are grown and I haven't worked in 15 years. And I don't know. I don't even know if I have skills now. I gave everything I have to my children. So now I feel like I'm nothing. I don't have an identity outside of my children. A lot of people suffer from that because they think they was adjusting their world around their children when instead their world became their children. And even the sadder part, you don't even get to spend enough time with your children to adjust your world around them. You adjust your world around your job. You adjust your children around your job. Hey, I got to get to work. Then after I get to work, I can come see my kids. We just think a little differently. And that's why stuff like this, it hits with me. Dennis Rodman said, I always had one wish. And it was, I wish my kids would call me and come see me. You know what? I would say this. If your parents tell you, and look, I'm an old man. If your parents tell you, look, just call me and come see me. As long as your parents live close by, you should go see them. If that's what they want you to do. They live in another state, well, you better have the freedom around your children, according to you, to go visit your parents. Life is not that simplistic, and life is much more complicated than that. But I'm just saying, listen to his heart. Listen to his feelings. His feelings matters too. He said, I just wish they would come see me every now and then, come see their dad call. And to be honest with you, I'm just tell y'all the truth. A lot of y'all are hurt adults with a children's brain. A lot of y'all are hurt adults with a children's brains and a children's trauma and a children's mentality of the world. You got to grow up at some point. You have to grow up at some point. And it is the greatest sign of maturity. It is the greatest sign of respect for yourself when you can do things that others can't. I always remind myself of this. I may be skilled and I may have an ability that other people do not. And because of that, I may be called to do greater things than them, and or I may be called to make sacrifices that they don't have the capabilities to. And it ain't going to feel good. It ain't going to feel good saying, look, I always call them. They never call me. It's all right, but you're capable of it. Just do it. It ain't going to feel good doing things and you look at everybody else and go, well, we both human. How come you can't do it too? They not built like you. They don't think like you. You different. It don't feel good always having to be the responsible one. It don't feel good always having to conduct yourself with a certain level of character. It don't feel good when people have done you wrong and you still need to do the right thing. It don't feel good. But it does feel good to stay true to yourself. It does feel good to be able to do great things. It does feel good when you have a level of peace with your life and who you are. It does feel good. But it ain't always feel good. So for me, it's hard to forgive. It's hard to let things go. And I'm not saying I'm not saying it's the perfect pathway, but I advise y'all to challenge yourselves. How many people got that person in their phone that they ain't called in a few years, and every time you're in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I've been meaning to call this person. Call them. Call that person. And this is what you can say if you want. Make me be the reason. Just say this. Man, I'm watching YouTube, watching my boy podcast, whatever. And he up there just, talking. So all he know how to do is run his mouth. And he said, he told me I got to call you. Yeah, he said, use him as the excuse. Just call him like, yeah, hey, look, somebody on YouTube said I had to call you, so I'm checking in. I want to see how you doing. They made me do it. They challenged me. Use me as the excuse. Call it a prank if you want. He YouTube pranked me, made me do it. Make the call. Do something that is so hard for you to do to prove that you can. Forgive somebody that you know I can't forgive them right now, just to prove that you're capable of doing it. Because one day we all going to be in a position where we're going to want to be looked at as a human being. One day we all going to be in a position we're going to want to be looked at as a human being. I saw this lady and she was being very rough on this older person. Like, oh, that older person got an attitude. I'm like, look, when you get old one day, you gonna wish some young person did you a little solid and let things go or cared a little bit more, because life gets harder. Sometimes you got to be the person you don't want to be the person that you want to be. And I'm not trying to talk in parables. I'm just saying, make that call. All y'all got somebody in here that y'all ain't called in a long time for whatever reason, for whatever the relationship soured. I don't care if it was your best friend from middle school. It's not about them. It's about you. You ain't going to listen to me. You are not going to lose anything. No one is going to be like, you had to call me. There's nothing that they can do with you. You solid. You just proven to yourself your own greatness. You just proven to you that even you can do what you didn't think you could do. That's all the point of it is. Do something hard. That's all I'm asking. Before you get into this new year, I'd rather you do it today. Do something difficult. Do something that you don't believe you can do and break through the barrier right now. Break through the barrier right now. And I guarantee you, when that conversation happens, even if that person hasn't changed, even if they still that same person, you know what you're going to say? I'm still glad I did it, though. Because now I know what I'm capable of. I didn't think I was capable of it. Do y'all know how scary that is? That we afraid to make a phone call. Costs us nothing. To reach out to people that we know we probably need to reach out to. She said Dennis Rodman had not been to her games in 4 years. Or no, she didn't say been to her games. She said he don't watch her. How do you know he don't watch you? The man said, I watch you play all the time. Are you out of your mind? Do you know the level of guilt and sorrow that human beings carry because you make them carry? Let me tell you another fallacy that people be having. Just because they parents, they supposed to do this. I don't believe that. I believe you can do something to help your parents out, even if you don't want to. I believe you can be that person that you think that they should be. I believe you do. So there's a level of shame and guilt that people who care about you felt that they did that makes them stay away. Even though if they called you right now, not that you won't call them first, because this is ego and this is that pride that we talk about right now. Not that you're going to call them first, but if they was to call, you pick up the phone and be like, I'm not really mad at you. No, I ain't even tripping. But you don't want to be the first to call. And a lot of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't want to be the first to call, but you're not even mad at them like that. You done really moved on, even if they hurt your feelings or they hurt you. You done moved on. And you're not really mad, but you ain't going to call them first. You could be that person and say, I'm going to call first. You absolutely can. Nothing is stopping you. Just because they your parents don't mean they got to call you. Don't let nobody create the game for you. This is your life. You get to navigate it and create it your own way. Don't let nobody else's rules and what they say adults are supposed to be and parents are supposed to be dictate to how you gonna do it. It ain't gonna work for you. Y'all can help out y'all parents who may have been through things and they've never ever told y'all, and they're not even capable of telling it. Y'all have no idea what y'all parents have went through. Nothing. It won't ever hurt anybody to be the better person. But in my opinion, I believe it will make you feel better. I believe it will make you proud of yourself. When you realize, you know what, I'm really dope. I'm really a good person. I really can be the bigger person. And it's crazy as it, you might have to parent the parents. Oh, does that sound crazy right there? You might have to parent your parent. You may be a better parent than your parents. You may be better at a lot of things, and just because they're your parent, don't mean they're going to be good at it. Shout out to the lovely Misty Blue. Says, Aaron, oh, you're a dope person. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. But I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. My goal in life is to continually evolve, continuously challenge myself, and do the hard things that I don't want to do because I know the greatness is on the other side of that. Do you hear that? Do the hard things that you don't want to do because we know greatness is on the other side. I know it is. Every time I do something that I know I need to do, but I just don't want to do it, I feel better. I feel proud. I honestly feel like I've unlocked a part of my personality, my mindset that I held back for way too long. I'm like, man, I should have been did that. And I think that's how you unlock growth, y'all. I really, really believe that's how you unlock the growth. Start doing the things that you just like, I don't want to do that, but you know you need to. You know you need to. Just do it. I guarantee you will be very proud of yourself. I guarantee you'll be like, you know what? That didn't go the way I wanted to go, but I called them. I didn't wait for them to call me what everybody else was saying, and I didn't wait for them to do nothing. I did it because I might be the better person. And it's okay. It's okay to be better than your parents. It's okay for your parents to fail you. It's okay to see your parents as a human. And I know when I say it's okay, that don't mean it feel good. Kazi said hi. Kazi said hi, Chew candy cannot be sent to the P.O. box. Nothing. Listen, I've had that P.O. box. I don't think anybody's ever said anything to it. But I always just have it as an option. You never know. To be perfectly honest with you, you never know who comes across my videos and go, hey, go to my page and find my P.O. box. You never know. And I won't feel any different if there's never nothing in there. It's just an option for people, option for life, you know. Heck, I might got family members that I don't know that's terrified to type in the chat, but they send something to people. I don't know. But that's really what I think, y'all. It's really what I think. I truly believe it's on the other side of that apprehension, that fear that we have. Greatness is there. Greatness is there. And the crazy thing is, greatness is in you. That sounds corny, by the way. I want to tell y'all, I'm not unaware of how that comes across. It sounds corny, but I'm all right with sounding corny if I believe it. Greatness is in you. You just got to unlock it. You just got to unlock it. Sometimes we need that push. I didn't need it sometimes. Man, I didn't have some people make me do things I did not want to do. But I believed in them enough to allow them to make me do it. You know what I'm saying? You know how you would never do something unless this person forced you to do it. Sometimes you need people like that. But imagine when you get to the point where you in control of all that decision making. I don't need you to push me. I'll gladly do it. Oh, I know I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it. Jerk said, hey, I'm not manifesting nothing, fam. I'm telling you the truth. That's where the greatness is. Just challenge yourself. I believe that's where the greatness is. I know Jerk's been on the internet. I know you was like, I don't know about this internet thing. And then you did it though. I know there was apprehension about going on the internet. People probably track you down, try to look up your grandparents and see what year y'all were slaves and all that, but you did it anyway. And there are people that want to be cooking with Kaya, but they scared. Just the truth. Greatness is within all of us, but you got to pull it out of yourself because ain't no guarantee somebody going to save you. We got to save ourselves. You know what's funny? I was playing Call of Duty, and this is probably like 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. It's a long time ago. And I joined this clan. It was called SYS. Save yourself. That's just the point, guys. Today is a challenge for everybody. Challenge yourself to do something you don't want to do, knowing that you need to do it. I have no idea what that is because only you can look in the mirror and make that change. But I ask you this, when you look in the mirror, are you proud? When you look in the mirror and you see the reflection of you, do you smile? Are you impressed? Are you proud? Do you feel accomplished? Or do you look at that reflection in the mirror and get that feeling in your stomach of disappointment? Are you the best person you know? Have you even thought about this stuff? Or have you just been waking up, going to work every day without real challenge? Think about it. I have to continue to challenge myself. I still got to figure some stuff out. I still have to do the difficult things that I know I don't want to do, but I done a lot of them. And I can actually say, you know what? I look in the mirror and actually I smile because I did not used to do that. It's an opportunity for all of us to realize it's our job to challenge and grow ourselves. Anyway, guys, that has been the Thoughts with AO. I have no more thoughts in my mind about this. I thought it was an interesting conversation as far as how I know people see their parents, see people who they want them to be instead of seeing people for who they are, allowing people to be who they are. I guess today's show is about that challenge. I really want to come back and hear somebody tell me, yeah, I made that call, player. I made that call. Yeah, I did it. It went better than I thought. It was tough. I'm going to try again. I really want y'all to try something like that. I don't care who it is, but it's somebody that you know you need to talk to. You know it. I know it. It's that name in the back of your mind that you've been pushing off. Do it. And you will be proud of the fact of yourself that you did something that you knew you was like, I normally wouldn't do it. Do it. I guarantee you it will benefit you immensely. Shout out to my brother Shadow Dragon TV says, as someone who has been in this position before, finally answering the phone was the best decision I ever made. I can only give y'all what I can give y'all. I can only tell y'all what I know, what I've experienced. Because I can't come on the internet and lie and pretend like a lot of other people do. I can't do that stuff. So I can't I can only be me. But I truly want to leave y'all with that. Please, 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 let this be the reason. Let me be. Say, whoever it is, the guy on YouTube, I don't even like him that much. Or maybe you do. He challenged me to make this call. I'm making it. I'm making it. And I guarantee you have the opportunity to possibly, oh, and this is going hard. I'm going to leave y'all with this. You have the opportunity to relieve somebody of pain while you're in pain. So the person that's put you in a level of pain, you have an opportunity to relieve theirs. And that's a very difficult thing to do. Because you know they probably wronged you and you probably want them to feel pain, but you have an opportunity to relieve them of that. Man, what a great position it must be in the world where you can do those type of things and you can always be the better person. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I will see you guys, what's today, Saturday? Well, I can't make no promises. But as always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please leave a like, a dislike, comment, whatever you want. But please, 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 please make that call. Until next